Hello, welcome back. Let me just adjust this, and you know what? I'll take the glasses off. Anyway, welcome back to my channel, and again, super happy Super Sunday, and let's get the show on the road. Now, about a few weeks ago, I think it was last month, that Marvel was talking about the possibility of there being another Blade movie, and I, for one, am all for it. Now, there have been questions as to, how would this work continuity-wise, not just with the films, but also with the comic books, if they, brought Blade back into the comic books as well as the cinematic universe. Now, I say that the way that it would work is that you could make up some Marvel, I would say make up some elaborate story about how the vampires were hidden for a while because, something happened, or, is just make up some elaborate story about why the vampires were hidden and why they decided now to return, and then bam, here comes Blade, and he, of course, I think, if there was a Blade for a movie, if there is a Blade for a movie in the post-credit scene, after the credits or whatever, I would say have Nick Fury or somebody from the Avengers, come to him and propose that he join them, because lo and behold, the vampires are working with some supervillains, and to be honest, I feel like this is just me just putting that out in the universe, but I think that down the line we may actually get to see an Ultimate Marvel Alliance movie. Of course, that'll be when people get when Marvel gets the rights back to certain characters, Fox. Anyway, when they get the rights back to certain characters. But anyway, yeah, I would say I'm all for it for another Blade movie, and again, another black superheroes. Let's the diversity. Let's get it going, and put it in there. And yeah, I feel like Marvel has the capability and is capable and willing and able to make up some elaborate story about what happened with the vampires, and the whole gap between the third Blade movie and this one. They'll make up some type of story, and it will be awesome. Point blank period, it'll be awesome, and Blade will just come in and slay everything and da 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 da. So, Blade is just gonna come in, slay everything, kill all the vampires, whatever, and then of course some of them will escape and work with some supervillains, and then of course they'll probably come back and try to, destroy the Avengers, and Blade will hopefully be with the Avengers at that time. And the reason why I say that I think Blade should be with the Avengers is because not only to diversify the group, but because if the Blade 4 movie does happen, let's not make it a non-canon movie. Let's not, in other words, let's not make that be a throwaway film where it's like, oh, here you go, another Blade movie, but we're not going to continue with this character. Because then it begs the question of, what the hell did you bring him back into the movie universe for? Not even just Marvel cinematic wise, but movies in general. What the hell did you bring the character back for with the franchise if you weren't going to expand on it? Anyway, what's the point if you're not going to expand on it? So I say I am all for it, and I believe that they will come up with some elaborate story and to explain the time continuity and the time gap and try to tie things together. If anything, in the post-credit scene, hell, you could have Falcon, or you could have Black Widow and Hawkeye go to meet Blade, and then try to talk to him or whatever, this and that, and if and let's say that you guys do make a Blade 4 movie. How about to top that, you also make a Blade TV series, and you can either put it on Netflix with the other 4 characters, or you can with the other 4 characters, or you can put it on TV with Agent Carter and Agents of Shield. So it depends, like with the whole thing, but just so many plans and so many other movies that are on the table and on the shelves over at Marvel. But if Blade 4 does come into fruition, if it does come into fruition, it would be great, and I will be, and I will be buying a ticket, and I may go see it more than once. So that is my thoughts on it. So, again, so not even again. Oof. Anyway, kind of tired, you guys. Work with me now. Work with me. Anyway, so yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you think that there should be another Blade movie? And then if so, what do you think should be, or what would you, if you had the chance, what would you make the storyline be to explain the time gap between the third movie and now, and explain the absence of the vampires in the Marvel comics? Because the only time vampires were really mentioned was like the time that they attacked the X-Men, and then Jubilee was bit and then turned into a vampire and still is, and all this other crazy stuff. So that was like the only time that they were really ever mentioned. If there was another time, I wouldn't know, I wouldn't know because, yeah, I just wouldn't know. So, just try to explain the time gap, I guess. And, could you, and if a Blade 4 movie does come out, would you want him to join the Avengers, or would you want him to be like a hero for hire and, be like a solo guy who has interactions with the Avengers, like he has like cameos in their films? Or would you just want it to be like another, like a Blade 4, 5, 6? Like, would you want the franchise to keep going to a certain point, or after 4 and maybe leading up to a 5th film, just putting that out in the universe, would you want there to be a TV series in between to sort of explain stuff that's going on leading up to another film? Or, what would you, how would you plan it out, and what would you, how would you get the logistics and everything worked out A-okay? So, hey, I hope you enjoyed this video, and happy Super Sunday, and let's get the conversation going. And hey, I will hear from you guys soon. See ya, and hey, Prince Onyx signing off. Peace.